Hey guys, SHS here doing a video. I'm going to be doing a video on SHS 12-to-1 gears. Now, there aren't a whole lot of reviews out there on SHS gears in general. I'm going to do one as best as I can. Now, this gun right here, this AK is outfitted with 12-to-1s. They are Gen 3s with a JG bevel. So, I'm going to shoot this and kind of give you an idea. It's short stroke by 3 teeth with an M120. So, I'll give you an idea on the performance with them. These are 13-to-1s, or 12-to-1s, sorry. I bought 13-to-1s for my M4. They're working really well. The bevel's even holding up. If you guys don't know that, you know, SHS bevels suck. Now my VFC and my VFC gearbox, those SHS 12-to-1s, the gears are holding up. The bevel is holding up. And it's been about 2,000 rounds through that gun so far, so it is holding up. Now, do keep in mind, I mean, 2,000 rounds isn't a whole lot of rounds. So these are unused 12-to-1s. I bought them. I had a friend try to install them, but there was some other issue with the gearbox, which is actually electrical. It wasn't anything else. We were thinking it was like the piston was too tight in the shell, the gears were shimmed too like tight, but none of that would work because the piston would go back and it would lock, and it would like burn our lipos up because it would get hot because like current was stopping. So then he gave it back to me and I fixed it. And then he kept the 12-to-1s accidentally, so I just got them back today, so I'm doing a review. So that gearbox I fixed and sold to a friend. We play with him pretty frequently, so I'm going to ask him if he wants $25, $25 to $30, I'll throw these in his gun. Now you're probably like, well, you can get these for $20 on Brittle Armory. Well, that's where I got these, but I'm doing the tech biz feed pretty much, and I'm putting them in. And he doesn't know how to do his own tech stuff, so, and these are already greased. So, I'd probably grease them some more and I'd have to shim them and yada yada, but I think, I don't know if I'm going to ask him if he wants them in there or not. I'll probably charge $30 because I paid $20 for these, and it's been, my friend has had these for months, and it's kind of, I've lost money on them. So I kind of want to make it back. Although the one thing I'm concerned about is the sector chip. Now, as far as really most stock gears don't have sector chips on them, which is kind of sucks because generally with 12-to-1, 13-to-1, 16-to-1 set, you're gonna want freaking a delay chip on your sector chip, whatever you want to call it. Now I have 12-to-1s in this AK, and it would not feed because of the 3 teeth being gone. I had to have a sector chip on it. So if you do any short stroking in these gears, chances are you are probably going to have a sector chip, which isn't too big of a deal because it's just, they're really cheap. You can just buy one. And VFC gears that I had one, and I put a VFC sector chip on that, and I have a VFC sector chip on in my M4 as well, and they work really well. So let's take a look at these gears. These are Gen 3s. Now Gen 4s come in a different package. I got to 13-to-1 Gen 4s, and the only difference between them is like apparently I think the sector and the spur or one or the other or something is a different machining, and it's apparently more precise. But then the Gen 2s suck. The Gen 1s are really good, and then they came out with Gen 2s, which they thin the teeth on the bevel, and then they just stripped really quickly. So then on the Gen 3s, they updated it, and I think they put it to the original Gen 1 thickness, but then the Gen 4s came out, and they're apparently like a certain machining. It's complicated terms. But these are Gen 3s are in my AK right now, and they're holding up, and I'm taking them apart multiple times. I've shimmed them, but and they were easy to shim in my AK, but in my M4 I had to have like on one side of the gear there were like 4 or 5 shims, and I don't like that at all. But the gun sounds alright, the shimming's alright, it's not too bad. Once in a while I'll get kind of a metal on metal sound, and that's the teeth on the piston. So it just, I don't know, the piston that I have in there is not very good. It's a Swiss cheesed metal rack piston, but it's not, I don't think it's very good. I'll probably be buying an SHS one here soon. But anyways, the packaging, freaking piece of pizza. Now on the back here, the Gen 4s don't have any information, but it, you know, gives you information, 12-to-1s, 32 to 42 BBs per second. Now with this gun right here, this AK, I'm getting a little bit above 20 RPS, short stroked with a 7.4 20 to 30C. This is a friend's battery. I just ordered a 20 to 40C 7.4 1700 milliamp to fit, excuse me, to fit in my stock. so that might shoot a little bit faster, but it's getting around like 22 to 20 rounds a second with the being short stroke. It does have an M120, but that's not even a huge spring, and I'm only getting like 290 FPS out of it because of the short stroking by 3 teeth. I might up it to an M130 eventually, or put a ball bearing spring guide in there. But it gives you, you know, an M90 spring to an M130. Now, with my M4, I was getting some issues with overspin. It was getting 2 shots on the semi with an M100 spring, so I stretched it, and I tried it out, and it's been working so far. So I stretched the spring and added what did I do? I think I just added a little washer on the back of my spring guide. I think that's all I did to space it out, but we'll see. If it's not working very good, I'll have to throw my M120 in there. But I really don't want to, or an M110, I really don't want to put that in there because then the trigger response is not as good, the cycle speed is not. So if I have to throw that M100 back in, or M110, I'll short stroke a little bit to get my cycle speed up. So this is 9mm bearings, blah blah blah, other requirements, suggestions, or other requirements, best suggestions. 9mm bearings, spring guide with bearings, piston head with bearings, bearings. It's for version 2s and version 3 gearboxes. Alright, so let's open it up. Now on the back you get these cool markings, SHS 12-to-1s, they'll tell you what gear set. Okay, so the spur here, man, I'll tell you, this thing is thick as heck. This drive shaft, I heard that there was one generation that the drive shafts were breaking off. I'm not sure which generation that was. I think it was like the second. They like screwed up and like try to change everything, thin everything out. But this looks thick as heck. Okay, this is, I don't see how this would break. It says that's just SHS 12-to-1s on the back, which is really, really cool. I love these gears. They're all black. I think they changed in colors from generations, but the Gen 4 13-to-1s were black too. This is the spur. Now these tend to break. Now you can use your standard 18-to-1 set spur because they're the same teeth count. Now this is a Classic Army. This is a spare for my M4 because one of my AK is a JG, so it'll hold up. But yeah, this is basically an 18-to-1 bevel gear. And that's just, they're interchangeable and between the 13-to-1s, 16-to-1s, and 12-to-1s, which is really, really nice. Because this one right here is an unused Classic Army. I think I already said that. It's unused. So if my 13-to-1 bevel breaks, I'll pop this in there. I also have an XYT JG bevel as well, and then a VFC bevel. But I'm going to try to sell some of my 18-to-1 sets, so I want to keep those complete. I think I'll have like, it depends, because if I throw these gears in my JGM4 that I have that I'm selling to a friend and I'll charge him another 25-30 bucks, then I'll have another spare 18-to-1 set to sell. Or if I put them in this AK gearbox that I'm going to be selling, which I doubt I'll do, I'll have that 18-to-1 set. Or if I put them in my friend's M4 that I built, I'll be taking that 18-to-1 set and keeping it and selling it. I'll probably only get like 15 shipped for an 18-to-1 set, which to be honest, I paid $15 for an 18-to-1 set, XYT set before, so I don't know why anyone would have an issue paying for that. But there's your spur and the bevel, you know, it does have grease on them, you know, it's got the AR latch gears here, and then the gears that hit the spur, and then the gears that hit the pinion. Now when you shim these, you gotta shim them, you know, height-wise, you gotta just be careful. Shimming's a different story, though. And then on this sector, you have the SHS 12-to-1. Now, these should really come with SHS tappet, or tappet delayer, or sector chip, whatever you want to call it. They should really come with them, because SHS really does. They make their delay chips. They make them, so I don't know why they don't just put them on here. They should, but they don't. Now, these are the two-piece ones. I've seen some people that had issues with, like, have them being offset. I got these from Brill, and apparently Brill himself goes over them and makes sure there's no, like, blemishes or anything, but I don't know. The 13-to-1 set I got, it's working great. And then these 12-to-1s in this AK, I don't know where they came from, but I don't know. Give me your thoughts on gears-wise. Now, different setups for these. I mean, you can do so much with these type of gears. man. What I would recommend if you want a speed setup, get, I don't know, to be honest, because my 13-1s with a high torque and a 10.8 is only getting me 25 RPS. It's not a high rounds a second build. I mean, it's kind of a balance, I guess. Maybe the rate of fire is up, maybe, but man, I would say that, I don't know, if you want to do a high-speed setup, I would get a balance motor, maybe like the SHS high speed, but it's more like a balance. It's like a 16 TPA or something like that. And I would get something like that, like the SHS motor and like SHS 12-1s or 13-1s or even 16-1s. But with 12-1 specifically and an SHS motor, you put an M110 in there, M120, probably an M120, and use an 11-1, get a MOSFET so you don't burn your contacts up. You'll probably be getting 35 rounds a second. Easy, probably, I'm sure. I'm not super experienced with, like, builds. I mean, I build my own guns. I have this AK I built. I have my M4 I built. I built a friend's M4, but I haven't, like, tested all the, you know, I did have an old SHS motor, but like I didn't get to test it with a bunch of different gear sets, so I'm not super knowledgeable, but I'm just gonna say, like, there's lots of different setups you can do, so I would go on other videos for recommendations, but I do recommend these SHS gears. They're pretty good. I would recommend, like, if you have an 18-1 set, and let's say you have a JG and you want to go upgrade, you go throw these in a JGM4, you want to keep that spare bevel just in case it breaks, or when you go to install these, just throw your JGM bevel in anyways. Now, I talked to, I think it was actually Brill or someone very knowledgeable, but I asked him, you know, give me the info on the 12 or SHS bevels, any of them. You know, I forget who it was, but he was, you know, telling me, well, they don't tend to be very good, so he recommended just to put I told him I had a Classic Army, just put the Classic Army in there and just throw the SHS away, or not throw it away, but like throw it to the side and use it eventually, you know, or whatever is the spare. But I actually wanted to use the bevel, and the same with this gear set. If I throw this in any gun, it's going to use the bevel, because I don't want to just, you know, I want to use it. I don't know, that's just me. It doesn't look like a bad gear, but I don't know, I've heard bad things about them, but again, these are the newer generations, so they should work really well. They are steel. Again, the sector here is 2-piece. Give you a closer look. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's got the 2 screws there. And then you have the spur here. Man, those teeth are thick. It's a nice gear. These go for about $20–25. Some, you know, there's Matrix Matrix rebranded ones on e-bike. I've not bought them, but they come in like the exact same packages, and I think they're SHS rebranded, so they should work. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you hear this AK. The shimming is not bad on this AK, but it does have kind of motor alignment issues. The motor that's in here, the pinion gear on that on the motor is actually like very loose. It's not held down by anything, and the previous owner that had it kept it like that, and I'm not sure why. So I might, when I get some glue, I'll probably glue down that pinion. But anyway, semi M120 spring 12-1 or short stroke 12-1 SHS's, short stroked by 3 teeth, with the GMP piston with like 10 or 11 teeth on it, short stroked as well. Now, with the AK, you can actually see the gear in here, and you can see, I won't be able to show you guys, but I can, like, if proof that it's 12 or SHS gears, you can tell. So the response time is pretty dang good for like a neo-magnet motor that's in here. The Crytek M4 motor, that's what's in here. It's converted a short type. With the 7.4, it's like a 9.6. And it's getting some pretty good performance. Now, full auto, not too bad. It sounds a lot better when there's actually BBs in it and I'm firing it, you know, firing BBs through it, but dry firing, it kind of sounds a little bad. that's about 25 rounds a second, like I said. There you go. If you have any questions, just ask. Go check out my video, like an update video that I have. I was talking about a bunch of different guns, 3 different guns, just giving an update on all of them, and you can hear my M4 shoot with the 1301s. But, you know, I do recommend these again. Brill is a really good website to go buy from, or Clydesdale, or however you say that. I think it's Clydesdale or something. They have them for like even cheaper, but I think they charge more for shipping. Brill is like, it was like $4 to ship gears and lube and shims to my house all the way across the country. Like, his shipping is very, very Airsofter. Like, he knows exactly how you know, companies can get you on shipping. So yeah, I think it's funny how they suggest 6.03 barrels in here, like in your gun. It's like, what, the barrel is gonna affect the gears that you use? That's kind of weird. Anyways, I think it's just SHS trying to get you to buy more of their stuff, but it's working. I love their stuff. I will always recommend SHS gears for a high-speed gear setup, or like upgrade or anything. I'm not sure what I'll throw these in, but if I throw them into anything, I'll, you know, give you guys a shooting test. I'm going to go ahead and text 2 of the people that have the person with the M4 that I built the gearbox for him. I have his gun. See if he wants me to throw him in there. And his brother is actually buying my JGM4, and if he wants to pay $30 more, he can have these in his gun. So if you have any questions, just ask, guys. See you guys later.